Why hello there, and welcome back to another episode of Trader Steve's journey across Gielinor to collect as many rare items as he can get his grubby little mitts on. Trader Steve is starting his journey in the Grand Exchange chunk, but for every new rare item he can add to his collection that's worth more than 1 mil, he can unlock a new adjacent chunk, with Trader Steve's ultimate goal, obtaining a quest cape. So it's finally here, guys. The item price squeeze I've been worried about for so long is here. In the last episode we got a really valuable drop with the armored little crossbow and we sold it for 58 mil. But with that money we've cleared out pretty much all the remaining cheap items on our trader collection list, and now our cheapest item is 6 mil and going up exponentially at this point. And it's come at kind of an awkward time because we're trying to unlock the Piety prayer, and of course we need the one small favor quest to be able to unlock it, and that's going to bring us all around Gielinor, which is really inconvenient, especially right now. And while we started with 58 mil after selling it, we're already down to 14 mil after just a few chunk unlocks. So we're definitely going to need some more money, and I've decided I really want to finish off 99 ranged just at Saradomin. I think we're about halfway at this point and we've gotten 2 drops. So today we're going to try to finish off 99 ranged only at Zyliana, and hopefully we'll make enough money from that to unlock Piety. Oh god, guys, we have 14 mil left, but I think that's only 2 more items at this point. We're gonna buy the Aram set, 6.7 mil. Jesus Christ, this thing has gotten expensive. Again, we might as well spend the rest of this money to start with, and then go make more. Okay, so we're gonna use this to unlock actually the White Wolf Mountain. This is only a minor sidetrack, trust me. We will need this chunk for one small favor, so we're gonna unlock it now. And we'll also need it for a recipe for disaster. And specifically, the thing I want from here is the Dwarven Rock Cake. Besides that, I guess we unlocked a glider, possibly ice gloves actually. Don't know if we really need those too much, but we could go get them. And of course, the fishing contest quest. So I realized something, we need red vine worms, which is only one way to get that in the entire game, and that is the McRubber Woods, which is kind of annoying. We have to literally go buy ourselves a gilded full helm, 7 mil, to get some freaking worms. That's all our money gone. $7 mil for this chunk is not a steal, I would say. I mean, we could do a dog task now, I guess, so there's that. I think there's a few other quest locations that you have to come here for, so it's not a dead chunk, it's just a dumb chunk. Okay, but with that, we're at least able to finish up Fishing Contest, which is a requirement for Recipe for Disaster, which we'll actually go do that subquest right now. Okay, there we go, the Mountain Dwarf subquest is done with, which means we can go grab ourselves a rock cake now. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I have been starved for an AFK task on this account for so long. I just need something chill, and that's why we went ahead and got the rock cake. Somehow I've not had access to any crabs. We didn't have access to rock crabs, no sand crabs. I even checked for swamp crabs, guys. I was that desperate. Finally though, we can effectively do Nightmare Zone. So we're gonna actually go ahead and buy ourselves the obsidian plate legs and the obsidian sword. Besides Piety, just leveling up our combat stats is really the best way to get higher damage. You guys know why Nightmare Zone's good. I don't need to explain it. There's only one slight issue. I don't know if I have any of the optimal quests done for this. This is workable though. I don't think it's like 100% optimal, but it's definitely good. And I forgot my super combats. Whew, here we go. That is our 900th kill. It's Saradomin, getting pretty close to the big 1K. Oh my god, I was so close. 5 kills away from 1,000 kills and my crystal armor breaks. God damn it. Well, I guess more Volcano. Okay, there it is. 1,000 kills Zyliana, 2 items. So once again, we are back up to being somewhat unlucky. I mean, we have 2 armored little crossbows, but we've exactly hit the rate for that. We have 0 Saradomin hilts, so we're about 70 mil shy of where we should be. Hopefully though, by the time we get 99, everything will even out. No guarantee though. Well, we have no money, but we do have some super combats in the bank still. We're able to get 1 strength level from them, 92 strength. I think we've gained a max it, so DPS increase, exciting. Oh my god, what is my luck? It's so weird, like 3 armadillo crossbows, that's actually perfect for me in particular. I can sell another, oh, that's just great. All right, all complaints have been shelved for the next 300 kills, 500 kills, I don't know if we'll make it to 1500. We're happy. This is great because if we got the hilt, we wouldn't get any money. It would go in the bank, it would have been a first item, but this one, hey, we've gotten this one 3 times now, which means we can sell this one for another 55 mil. Which is huge. I think that might be enough to get Piety. It's gonna be kind of close, honestly. There we go, 57 big ones. Bringing our cash tag up to 61 mil, plus we have a bit of junk still. Things are good. Oh my god, all of a sudden, so much money. What do I do with it? You know what really annoys me about the God Wars dungeon? I've been stuck here, running around in circles, and there's nothing to do. The only TV channels are religious channels, and everyone's just trying to slam my head in all the time. There's nothing like Mauritania with their cool vampire shows and horror movies. Luckily, I now have a subscription to NordVPN, today's video sponsor. Thanks to Nord, I can watch all my risque, vampire-related cinema from the comfort of my own home here in Asgarnia. I can simply change the location of my network and I'll gain access to all of that country's restricted programming. But NordVPN's for more than just that. With how prevalent RuneScape account hacking is in 2024, now more than ever it's important to have strong online security. Now that starts with having a strong unique password, 2-factor, and let's be honest, not accidentally leaking your information. But NordVPN's threat protection goes one step further and offers advanced digital protection from malware and online threats. NordVPN can also monitor your information for database breaches, which is really important because that's literally how I got my account hacked 6 years ago. They got me information from a database breach. Nord has so many other features as well, I would honestly just recommend checking them out, or I'll be here for like another 10 minutes. NordVPN right now has a creator exclusive deal. With the purchase of a 2-year NordVPN plan, you'll receive a bonus 4 months, plus a 20 gigabyte Saily data voucher. All you have to do is click the link in the description. If you haven't heard of Saily, it's Nord's new eSIM program, which I used an eSIM when I was in New Zealand, and honestly it's super convenient when you travel, so you can also try that out. And thank you so much to NordVPN for sponsoring. Well, there's nothing really for it, we just kind of have to start the quest. So we're going to start off one small favor. We do have access to the start location, and pretty much every time we reach a part in the quest that we don't have access to, we'll go ahead and spend some of our precious 60 mil. First item, blunt axe. Oh, well, look at that. We need a chunk for the very first item. Unfortunately, the jungle forester just doesn't come over here. Not the end of the world because we do need this section of the Khazari jungle for Legends quest, so in the long run we'll need this area anyway. Not off to a good start though. Well, we're gonna have a look through a few items here. Looks like actually the gilded pickaxe is one of the cheaper options. 5.7 mil, although it's not buying for that amount. That's another thing, I guess. Let's do 6 mil maybe. There we go. 6 mil item, not too bad. Really the cheapest we can hope for nowadays. Unfortunately, this is all fashionscape, but hey, it goes with the outfit, kind of. This chunk actually has a pretty good moneymaker in it, although we won't be able to really access it for a while. But for now, the accessible part of the chunk at the top, which is only about 1% of it, just has one thing we need in it, the forester. Okay, so we're cruising through some of the locations. We do have access to a lot of them still, but one chunk that we actually never unlocked is the farm chunk in Lumbridge. It does have sheep shear in it, so eventually we would have had to unlock it, but apparently we also need it for one small favor. Totally forgot. Well, looking through the list here, I think one of the cheaper options is actually the pirate's hook. Why this item is so expensive, I don't know. Did this thing go up from sailing? 5.5 mil for a trouble brewing item, I think. Actually, never mind. This thing's cool. I get it. So Farmer Fred's chunk, this one would have debatably been useful at all had I unlocked it in the first episode, but now it is 100% pointless. The only good thing here is we could do sheep shear now, although not with this inventory space, so I guess we're gonna come back later. Yep. Okay, this quest is really gonna make us fill in Mistalin, apparently. We also are gonna need access to Barbarian Village, I really thought I would be able to avoid this chunk in its entirety, but I forgot one small favor goes here. We could go for the Missouri mask, but honestly, we're never going to wear it. So we're actually going to go with the gilded kite shield, which, hey, we might wear it sometime. We'll have a full gilded set here pretty soon. And we picked it up for 5.8 mil. This is a debatable one. I think we've unlocked the cave. This is really hilarious, actually. The chunk border goes right halfway down the cave. I've actually never seen that before, but to enter it, we have to walk over to this west side of it, so it could not be more ambiguous. Okay, we'll see where our true tile is. Assuming our true tile doesn't go into that chunk, I'm just gonna say it's fine. Kind of just a weird occurrence. I don't think it's gonna happen again. Yeah, okay, we don't really leave our chunk to go down here. I'm gonna say that's fine. And with that, we'll also be able to unlock the Dwarf Multi-Cannon too without unlocking the Fishing Guild, so potentially we might never have to unlock it. So this quest is the king of going to random chunks I've been trying to avoid for a while. This one needs us to go to Port Khazard, and no way around it. We're gonna unlock Fishing Trawler. I mean, we'll never do Fishing Trawler because who would want to do that? So the item we're actually going to end up buying is none other than the Missouri mask, and I was mentioning this earlier, but although this is kind of a best in slot item, it's also not for us right now, and that's because the Crystal Helm was really good with the Bow of Ferdinand setup, so we don't really want to break that by taking it off, but eventually, if we get ourselves a Twisted Bow, or we use a non-BOFA item like the Armadillo Crossbow or something, hey, maybe we'll use this item, and it honestly was just one of the cheaper options at 7.1 mil, so we'll take it. Although I don't expect we're going to use it for a while. Okay, Port Khazard, not much here. Like I said, Fishing Trawler, not going to do that. Charter ship, we got plenty of charter ships at this point, so mainly we're here for one small favor. And that's it. I mean, we have to do everything in reverse now, but we've actually unlocked out the chunk locations. That's really exciting. I thought we would need actually 1 or 2 more, so we were able to do this pretty efficiently. I love how casual this guy is. He doesn't care at all. He doesn't know what we went through. There we go. One small favor done with, bringing us up to 170 quest points. And 2 lamps as well. Now, what do we put these in? I have no clue. I think we'll put them both into Slayer, honestly. Probably going to be our slowest skill for a while. That or we could do mining, but honestly, the Slayer will get me a level, so hell, let's do that. 76 Slayer, does that get us anything? No. But the next one will get Brutal Black Dragon, so that's kind of nice. Just found a lamp in my bank. Okay. Well, I have no idea what that was from, but we got 7,000, 14,000 strength experience. We take that. Okay, it's finally time to do the actual quest that unlocks Piety, and that's King's Ransom. We have access to the start location. I think we have access to all of it, honestly. This quest is really easy, all things considered. So King Arthur is saved, King's Ransom is done, and that means we can get Piety. So the final part of the puzzle here is we need to actually finish the Knight's Wave training ground, but we are pretty overleveled for this at this point. I think this should be a piece of cake. There we go, guys. We have Piety and Rigor. We are now truly set for some endgame PVM. That does increase our max hit by, I think, 3. Increase our DPS by somewhere between like 0.5 and 0.6. And most important of all, means we don't have to click 2 prayers every time we want to use melee. So that is the biggest win of all, to be honest. Oh my god, there it is. 98 ranged. We've been running around in circles for, I want to say 40 or 50 hours at this point, but now we only have 1 level left in 99 ranged. So far we are at 3 Armadillo crossbows. Can we get another, or hey, we'll take a hilt too. I mean, it'd be nice to at least get maybe 1 more item before 99 at least. Hey, we'll take 2 more though. So we have Piety now, and that was by far the most obvious upgrade we had left. But there's one other item that's sticking out like a sore thumb. That's our combat bracelet. It's finally time to tackle Recipe for Disaster. we actually have a bit of money left over, and I think I would like to get started with more of the subquests. We've already finished a couple of them, and now that we have money and more of the map unlocked, we might be able to get at least up to our adamant gloves, maybe rune gloves. And this has a double purpose. For one, we're going to unlock eventually Barrow's gloves, which is a direct upgrade over our combat bracelet, but also it will unlock more quests, and we are starting to get to a point now where we need to focus on actually doing the quests in RuneScape. Beyond the fact that many of them offer good upgrades, we need to get our Questscape, and Recipe for Disaster is a great stepping stone to the Questscape. Now we pretty much have all of the requirements for it. We have all the skill requirements except for one maybe, and we have pretty much all the quest points we need as well. The main bottleneck is chunks and of course money. But let's see how far we can make it. We have a couple easy ones left anyway. Okay, there's the first one. Goblin Generals. I think we've been able to do that for a while, leaving us with 5 members left. Okay, well apparently we were able to do the Lumber's Guide as well, which gives us another quest point and brings us up to 175, which means we got the requirements for RFD. And I totally missed this a while ago, but we got our 3rd Slayer block slot, and each block slot is actually incredibly important, in particular for my area locked account, and maybe we'll be able to get our 4th one pretty soon too. We're getting close to 200. Okay, apparently I could have done this a while ago because there's another one done. The Ogre quest line is absolutely terrible. Catching Jubblies is the worst content in the game, but it is done with. Bringing us up to, I think, Mithril Gloves or something like that. Still not an upgrade, unfortunately, over the combat bracelet, but we're getting close. Pirate Pete, there we go, which means we only have 2 members left. Unfortunately though, the final 2 are going to require some more questing. Evil Dave and Ceramic Vase are the 2 remainder, and both of them require some more quests. Evil Dave requires more quests in the desert. Ceramic Vase requires notably Legends quest and Heroes quest. That one's going to be by far the most difficult. So well, let's start with the easiest one. Now, I was pretty well done with the desert, but there are 2 quests left here, or maybe 3 actually, that I never ended up doing, and that is Shadow of the Storm and the Golem, as well as, I think, the Feud. Oh, of course, Desert Treasure too. Okay, well, apparently there's a few quests we haven't done here. Now, so far, every chunk I've unlocked in the desert has had a purpose. All of them have been quest locations, except for one, I think, so we've done pretty well for ourselves. However, unfortunately, I believe to get this quest done and eventually Desert Treasure 2, we need to unlock another dead chunk. There's no way around it. There's just no way to get here on foot or using a natural form of transportation. So we're gonna have to unlock, unfortunately, a pretty useless chunk to get here. So we're at a stage in our account where we really have 2 options. We could spend all our money on an expensive item to get an actual direct upgrade, like we could go buy ourselves, I don't know, Bando's chestplate, for example. That's going to give us an extra strength bonus. Or we spend money on less expensive items to get more quest chunks unlocked, to unlock a quest item like Rune Gloves, for example. That will also get us an extra strength bonus. Now, until recently, unlocking more of the map has by far been the most efficient way to get stronger, get higher damage, and also has a benefit of us getting closer to our final goal of a Questscape. But now that the items are getting more expensive, a lot of the most obvious quest unlocks have been obtained, it starts to become more of a interesting choice. Is 35 mil worth it to get Rune Gloves? I think so, definitely, but soon we might be better off just buying an Avernic or something. Like, I don't know, we're getting to that point where like we might be better off just directly buying power upgrades. We'll see though. For now, I think Recipe for Disaster is a worthwhile goal. Okay, so what items we have left here? We tried to get the Vengeance Scroll earlier. We couldn't get it, but we actually were able to buy it this time for 6.5 mil. That's one item. We're going to buy a couple now because we definitely are going to need multiple to finish off the desert. We ended up buying the Dragonfire Ward for 7.4 mil. Actually, ridiculously cheap nowadays. This is an item that kind of interesting. I don't think we're going to use it because we already have the Twisted Buckler. And the final item I guess we'll grab is the Gilded Plate Body. Still an expensive item though. 7.5 mil for that, and just like that, 3 chunks later, we're once again pretty much out of money. So for the rest of the desert, we have to be a little strategic here, because there's 2 main chunks we need to unlock. We need the Runes of Uzer, and we're gonna need the Desert Treasure 2 location. Now, I looked at the possible routes, and I think the best one for me is gonna be going east of the Shanty Pass, through the River Elid dungeon, because we need that chunk anyway, past this hunter training spot, which is a dead chunk, unfortunately, nothing to be done about that, to the ruins of Uzer, which we're going to need right now. And then from there, we can go south, once again, through a dead chunk, and finally reach the Desert Treasure 2 start location. That will have us unlock pretty much the entirety of the desert that we need. And for now, we will only need 3 chunks. Okay, here we go. It's time to power east across the desert. River Ella dungeon chunk. Not much in here besides the dungeon. Next up here is our dead chunk. Hunter training. We got orange salamanders. Woo, yippee. And most importantly, we have the ruins of Uzer. But finally with that, we can start off the golem quest. That's unfortunate. I didn't account for this. The phoenix that we need to get the feather from is in another chunk. Even the chunk picker didn't know this, apparently. I'm gonna wait here just to be sure it doesn't wander over here somehow, because otherwise this chunk's dead as well. It's unfortunate, but it's not looking good. Okay, well, we need another item, unfortunately. We're gonna go for the gilded plate legs for 7.4 mil. And that means we have only maybe enough money for one more item. And this unfortunately was a chunk we didn't really expect we would need, but hey, look at this, full gilded at worth. It's a very odd chunk, but we needed it for the phoenix. I'll grab your expensive feather. Okay, there's the golem done with, bringing us up to 178 quest points. And I believe we can just straight up do Shadow of the Storm now. We don't need to unlock anything else, hopefully. So this quest is actually nice because we unlocked Dark Light, which means we can now get Arc Light once we get access to the catacombs. And from there, we'll be able to get the new Firelight, or whatever they end up calling it. Just doing this with a kitten is terrible. I don't know what I did wrong, guys. We figured it out. I don't know what went wrong, but we guessed on the final attempt and we got it right. There we go. The free Evil Dave quest is done with, which means we can now use spicy stews. I hate stew boosting though, so we probably won't use them. But most importantly, we can grab ourselves a actual upgrade, rune gloves. These things have +1 melee strength, slightly more defensive, and slightly more accurate. 50 mil for these bad boys. When I originally unlocked Godwar's Dungeon, I pondered doing 99 range entirely at Zyliana, but I didn't think I was going to do it. But I came to enjoy this boss a fair bit, and here we are at the precipice of 99 range. Unless we get really lucky right here, we will be ending it off on just 3 items. Nothing. So 1,281 kills has brought us to 99 ranged. We started this off at I think 91 range, so almost half our total experience was entirely from Zyliana. In the end, not the worst training method in the world. We were getting between 50k and 70k an hour, and it's finally done. Getting that last level is also quite important because it actually boosts our max hit from 44 to 46. Through some percentage wizardry, I don't understand. So like I said, in the end, we ended up with 3 armadillo crossbows, which brought in the majority of the loot of 177 mil from those. And in total, we ended up with 209 mil from Zyliana. Now, if we were on rate for our items, we would have ended up with closer to 268 mil. So we're a little bit under our expected profit because we only did get the 3 item drops, where technically we should have hit 5. Granted, for my account in particular, getting 3 armadillo crossbows is actually very good. We're able to sell 2 of them straight up, bringing us 110 mil raw cash for us to spend, as well as having access now to an armadillo crossbow in the bank, and a chunk from that. So overall, I'm actually pretty happy with it. Now, we were averaging about 20 kills per hour, which means this took me about 65 hours to finish, which means we made about 3 mil an hour here, where if we hit rate for things, we probably would have been closer to 4 mil an hour. In the end though, still a pretty good moneymaker. And I'm probably going to come back here in the future just to get the hilt as it's still one of our best money making methods. So we are pretty much ready for PVM. We got 99 range, we got Piety, we got Rigor, and it's time to do some raids. Finally, next episode, we're really going to get back into raiding. We have Tombs of Amaska unlocked, we have the Theater of Blood unlocked, and maybe we'll just even unlock the Chambers of Zarek. Get all three of them. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.